Friends, today's video I'm going to show you how to create a project in the spreadsheet to to do some project management, and actually it's called a Gantt chart. So here I have a project in this tab in the first sheet, and we here have some plus from some task ID for this project here, and the task name is the same with the task ID, so you can remember anything you like in your project. And here in column C, so in column C this is optional. Okay, so if it is M at the end, so it's mandatory. So with O is optional data. So here you can group your tasks like group 1, group 2, like this. Okay, and for your task, you should have a start time. Actually, the start date and the end date. So in column F is the duration. So in this duration, so basically we can use a formula here. We can use it like days, end day, and start date. So this is going to calculate the duration from 2 days. Okay. So and in column G, so this column is a percentage, is a percent complete for your task. So it's from 0 to 100. So 100 means that the task is complete. The 0 that means task is not started. And here we also have the dependencies. So if your task, let me show you an example, maybe in this project 4 here. So maybe your task 2 is depends on your task 1. So you can put your dependence task ID here. You also can have multiple dependencies here. So you only need to separate them with comma, and you also can pick another. Let's say we can pick another task ID, and we put it here, just like this. So this is for multiple task ID as dependencies. Okay, so that's all the data we're going to need in the spreadsheet. So for each tab, we're going to have, so this is a represent a project for, so one project, one sheet. Okay, so here we have 4 projects here, and in this project sheet, so this header is very important. So I use the task ID as a keyword to identify which sheet is a project sheet. So here I have a spreadsheet named sheet 2. So in this sheet, we don't have a task ID as a header in A1. So this sheet will be ignored. Okay, so if I try to open the Gantt chart here, so I have a menu here. You can open it. So it's going to open another tab in your browser, and I'm going to show you the chart. Okay. All right. So it's trying to load the chart. For the first time, it's going to take a while. So as you can see here, I have a title for this web application, and here I have 4 projects here, and as you can see here in the first one, I have maybe I can make this one on the right side. Okay, so in this way we can check the data, we compare the data with let's refresh this page. Okay, so here in project 1 we have plan task. So for project 1, task 1 to task 14. Okay, here So it can pull all the data from your spreadsheet. And for the groups, we here have 4 groups here. So if you hand over this, as you can see here, in these tooltips, we have the duration for this task, and it's 7 days, and the percentage, complete percentage is 30%, and we also have a resource group for group 1. Okay, so for group, they'll have the same color, so all the red color for the group 1, for this orange one is group 2, and the same for the green for the group 3, I think, and the last one, the purple one, is for group 4. So that's the chart you're going to create. So in this web app, you can choose which project you'd like to see. So if I click the project 2, going to bring the chart for the project 2. So if I go to the project 2, the data, so the original data here, I only have 2 groups here, and so 2 groups for the red and for this orange one. Okay, if I try to see the project 4, so project 3, so in this project 3 here I have some dependencies. Okay, so all my tasks are depending on the first task. Okay, so that's why you see all these arrows. So it's from the first task. So this is the dependence, how this dependence works in the chart. All right, so the same way for the project 4, so it is very similar. Okay, so basically that's all of this web application. So if you'd like to manage a lot of a project in Google Sheet, this could be an option for you to manage your project in the spreadsheet, and you can share this link to your project members, so they can check the status. So in this web application, and basically, okay. So basically, that's all the functions, the features in this project. Okay, so now let me show you the code and explain a little bit of the code to you, so maybe you need to do some modification. All right, let's close this web application. So I will share a link of this file to you. So if you want to use this tool, you please go to File, make a copy of this file to your Google Drive, and once you copied this file to your Google Drive, you should be able to use all the code. Okay, so I make a copy of this tool and make it for YouTube video, and create a new file. Close the old one. All right, now we have the new file created, and just wait a little bit of time. So first thing you need to do, you need to go to the tools and script editor. Tools, script editor. So it's going to open the script for you. All right, now, since this is a web application, we need to publish the script as a web application. Okay, so first thing you need to go to, so once you open the script editor, go to publish and deploy as web app. All right, so this is the first time, this is the first revision, so the new revision, and here you can choose access. So I'm going to choose the last one, and I'm going to update. For the first one, we're going to do the authorization. Okay, choose your Google account. What's wrong? Let's go back. Advanced. Okay. Allow. Okay, now you have this URL. So once you deployed this as a web application, you should be able to use this menu. So this Gantt menu, and try to open the chart for the first time. Still opening. Okay. All right. So we should see the same result I just showed you. Okay. So I think everything works fine. Okay. So let's go to the script, and let me explain something to you, and zoom in a little bit. So basically, I have 4 files in this project, and for the first one is this main.js. So here I have all the app script code here. So here all the code is going to communicate, going to get data from this spreadsheet. Okay, so especially for the first one, you're going to get all the project data from the spreadsheet. Okay, so I'm going to get all the data in this table, and tab by tab. And this function, it is used to get the data from the sheet. Okay. For this function, it's going to use going to link the CSS and JavaScript to this index.html file. So we're going to use this include function. So if we go to this index.html file, you're going to see something like this. So this here is going to link the file from this css.html file, and this one is going to link the file. Actually, it's not a link. It's going to grab all the text from the js.html file and put them in the in this index.html file. So it looks like a copy of this js.html file, and put the content of the js.html and put them in here. So if we go to the chart here, and you're going to inspect your web application, you go to the element. Let me try to. So if you go to close the body here, so in this head style, so this style is from this file. So this is the style. So if you go to the css.html, as you can see here, style, and we have the root. We have some variables here, and if you go to this tag here, roots, and your variables, and all your CSS code here are embedded here. All right, so similar for the JavaScript, it's going to grab all the JavaScript from this js.html file. So this is very similar to the web app development in JavaScript and HTML file. So it's very similar, but we need to use this function. You can name this function whatever you want. So you can link the CSS and the JavaScript to your HTML file. Okay, so basically this function is very important. And this doGet function is a must-have function for the web application. Okay, so basically going to create a template, HTML template with this index HTML file, and I'm going to return it to the end user. So you can see this chart here. Okay, and the next one. So this one is going to open the chart in browser. It is when you click this open function, you're going to open the chart in browser. All right, so basically it's going to use use what? So use a dialog. So once you click this dialog, so in this dialog we have a script. So in this script we're going to open the URL. Okay, this URL is the web app URL. So it's going to open the web app, and then we're going to close the dialog. All right, just like that. And the last one is this on open function. We're going to add the menu to the spreadsheet. So all the function explained in this main.js file. And so in this index HTML, it is very simple. So I'm going to link the CSS and link the JavaScript. And here we have a container div, and we have a title div, we have a navbar div, and we also have a display for all the chart. Okay, so here you can change your title for your project, and this is just a message for the loading message. Okay, all this kind of stuff is going to be modified or changed in the JavaScript. So if you go to the JavaScript, this is all the code we are using to do the chart, to create the chart and change the chart. And when you click the button, click the navbar item here, you're going to change the chart for you. So all the code in JavaScript. And I suggest you to read the documentation from Google. So basically, I use their code a lot for this project, and I'd like to explain something. So basically, when the page is loaded, we're going to run this function. So this get data function. On this get data function, we're going to pull all the data from your spreadsheet. If you go back to the main.js, so I'm going to run this function from server side. So we're going to use Google script run. So run this get data function. So if this get data is successful, and we're going to, with this successful handler, I'm going to run this callback function. So all this code here, it depends on the result from the get data. So once we have the data, we're going to create the chart. Okay. So before we create the chart, we also need to create the nav. So we here have a function to create the nav bar. So for all the project, so we here have 4 projects. We're going to create 4 navbar items here. So for all the items, I'm going to create an order list for an order list item for each item in the nav. Okay, so basically it's going to create all the list items and append them to this an order list, and finally we're going to append the an order list to the navigation bar. Okay, so this is create navbar function. And next one, I'd like to show you this this draw chart function. Okay, so basically we're going to use this library. I forget to show you. So this library is a library from Google. Okay, So if you go to the Google Chart API, the first one, so here we have a guide is for all the Google Charts, and here we can find the examples for our project, and here we have the Gantt chart. So if you go to this link, and this is sample code Google provided for us, so we need to link to this library, and in this script tag we can use this library, so we can do some user library to create our chart. So it is explained, this document explains everything very well. So I suggest you to read this documentation first, then you can check my code. It will help you to understand my code. Okay. So basically, when the page is loaded, I'm going to draw the first project in the browser. Okay. So if you go to here, I'm going to use this project data and the keys. So first one is start from 0. So I'm going to draw the first project and show it in the browser. And in the last, we have a click event. So here we're going to change the chart. It depends on which nav item is clicked. So if you click the first chart, first item in this nav bar, it's going to show the project 1. If you click project 2, it's going to show you project 2, just simple like that. Okay, so I think basically that's all the stuff I'd like to share with you. And here you can do a lot of stuff here of styling of your chart, and you also can check the data format here. As you can see here, all the columns here, we here have 8 columns. It is exactly the same I have in my spreadsheet. I have 8 columns here, and the order, it is very important, I think. So you need to keep your data structure the same as this one. All right, so explain all the data type and optional or required. Explain the data here very clear. So, and you also can style your chart. You can do a lot of modification, and all the options are here. You can change. So in my example, the only thing I changed. So if you need to change the style of your chart, you can modify the options. So these variable options here, you can do some modification. So in my project, I only set up the head of the chart, and we give the color for the background for this inner grid track. So it's basically the color for this gray strip like this. So you can change the other colors. So I just override the default color. Okay, so you only need to pick the options parameters you'd like to change. So basically, that's all I'd like to show you. So I hope you can learn something from it. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave it in my video. Okay, and see you next time. Bye bye.